I feel like I'm having a pre-midlife crisis because I don't think I've hit the midpoint of my life yet. Maybe I'm only gonna be like, what, 44? This is my halfway point. I mean, to be really real, really honest, I'm surprised I made it this far, this long even, because the future terrifies me, and it always has. I've always been very scared of what's to come. Mostly, I feel because you never know what's to come. You never know what's coming. It's kind of the whole thing about the future, the uncertainty of it. You know, it, I mean, in some cases, sure, you can kind of predict it, or at least kind of like make an outline or something as to what you want your future to be, as to what you want your life to be. I never made one of those. My outline was to, in the least depressing way possible, my outline was to off myself when I got to 18 because I've always felt very, what's the word? Worthless, uh, unimportant. What else? More synonyms of worthless and disappointing and just all around not great. Always felt this way. And I suppose at a certain point it got better because obviously I made it past 18 and didn't, you know, you know. So, like, in some ways things got better, in others, not so much. And I'm kind of just stuck now because it's like built an idea for some sort of future for myself at one point or another. At one point, I realized that, maybe life is worth living, maybe a little bit. At the very least, stick it out in hopes that things get better at some point. Granted, that doesn't really happen unless you put any effort to make things better, make things get better. And I've never been very good at doing that. Never been great at making things better for myself. I kind of just drift place to place, job to job, person to person. Not really person to person, but I guess like friends. But even then, I'm pretty loyal to my friends when I have them. When I had them, I don't. I'm pretty loyal to everybody that is associated with me or my life. Like I don't turn my back on people. Not often, if ever. Obviously, there's cases, but what it doesn't matter. Anyways, point being is that the future is terrifying, and I don't know what to do anymore. I mean, I never really did. Is I guess the point is that I never knew what to do, and when I did think that I had some sort of idea for the future or for my future, it kind of got slapped back in my face as a unrealistic reality. And that's fine. I've never been one to really live in reality, to be honest. I've kind of always been up in my own world, kind of, Um, so that's not really a problem, but in the idea that I'm referring to, I mean, I couldn't stand by and work dead end jobs with no room for growth or improvement or advancement or anything of the sort and just work away until, maybe someday I can retire or something when I'm like 60. if I make it that long. It's like, no thanks. I didn't stick around this long to be stuck in the same monotony that drove me to not go to school in the first place. Like, I stuck around because life is supposed to get better. And it's not that it didn't, it's been a lot of ups and downs as life tends to be. Lots of things change, and not everything is as bad as it was. Not everything's as good as it was. There's a lot of things in my current life that a few years ago were a lot better. And in the same vein, there's a lot of things in my life that a few years ago were a lot worse. So it's, I mean, that's just life. It's just the uncertainty of life. It's always up and down, it's always changing. There's never really, I mean, I guess, yeah, there's never really like a set pathway, never really a defined way to do things or go about things or how things should turn out. There's no rule book or guidelines to follow, you know? I suppose in some capacity that's what school is supposed to be, is like a guideline for how to survive life, how to survive the world. I guess maybe I wouldn't struggle so much if I had actually gone to school, and maybe I would have, learned and had that sort of guideline to follow, but I screwed that up a long time ago, so that's kind of out of the picture at this point. And so I am stuck constantly wondering what my future is going to hold, if anything. I somehow managed to not bring any torches. Why do I do this to myself? But I sit and I wonder, and I wonder, and I wonder what could be, or what might be coming, what might happen next. Whoa. Okay. Damn. I just wonder. I wonder and wonder and I wonder. And it gives me anxiety about the future. I don't like thinking about the future. So as I've said, terrifies me. The uncertainty is it's just, I don't want to say excruciating. It's not like the worst thing in the world, but it's not like, it's not going to be a good time if I just sit here and think about what the future might hold for me, especially with my current, what's the word I'm looking for? Current actions and just situation as a whole. Everything that's kind of going on in my life right now does not really lead me to a very positive idea of what the future might be. And so when I get really anxious about the future and I get scared and whatever, I look to the past for some comfort. And I look for my nostalgia, or I look in my nostalgia for some sort of comforting anything, really, feelings, memories, ideas, just anything to help break the fear that I just am kind of stuck with, kind of been stuck with. And well, let me tell you, that doesn't help a whole lot either, to be honest, because reminiscing on past nostalgia is just another way to make yourself real sad in a whole different aspect. So I have been kind of stuck somewhere between the past and the present, or the past and the future, because then we get to the moment and the present and this idea of living in the moment that I've been trying to do. I've been trying to stay out of my head, stay out of time, thinking about time. It's just never really a good thing. But the present, my current day to day, ain't exactly rainbow and sunshine either. You know, I don't want to say miserable. So that's a pretty strong word. There's a lot of good in my current day to day life. There's a lot of bad in there too. Just like everything else in life is full of ups and downs, it's full of indecisions and never really, never a really one size fits all kind of thing. You know, it's always somewhere between here and there, somewhere between happy and sad, up and down. Just sucks. It just sucks. It really does. And I wish I could just get out of my head about it and not stress. Like, I would love to just turn my brain off and just live for a while. And if things get significantly worse, then they get significantly worse, and I'll figure it out from there. But the reality is, things are probably gonna get significantly worse from here because I'm not really making any sort of positive impacts on my life or any sort of positive steps forward in any avenues of my life. And rather than being accepting of the fact that things are probably going to get worse and just, kind of living with that, it's probably just going to happen and I'm just going to have to deal with it because it's happening rather than because I want it to happen, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a better way to word this. Like, I don't want to throw my life away necessarily, but I kind of already started, and I don't really seem to have any intentions on stopping. So, and it's kind of a subconscious feeling that is causing this throwing away or whatever you want to call it. It's not necessarily on purpose. I don't necessarily want to destroy my future before it even can happen. But again, don't really see myself stopping anytime soon. Wait a minute, I know where I am. I recognize this. What the heck? Hold up. I died in here one time. This old box. This is my... I remember this. But where did I come from? I made this box so long ago. Yeah. Anyway. I don't want to throw away my future. I don't want to throw away my life, especially before it even has a chance to happen. You know? But this fear of the future, this fear that I am just running away from, keeps holding me back. You know? I I guess I'm afraid that my life just isn't gonna happen. There's never gonna be a chance because every day is just gonna be working towards the same end goal that I'm never gonna reach. And to be real, I'm not even 100% sure what that end goal is. Happiness? I guess? Freedom of some variety? I don't know. I don't know. I think I do. I think I know what I want out of life, you know? But if I were to actually get it, would I know what to do with it? Would I be able to handle it? Would it just be new stress added on to whatever is left? I don't know. I guess it's just another wait and see kind of situation, which life seems to be so full of. lots of wait and see, wait and see, wait and see. And I feel like I've heard a lot throughout my life in terms of advice of people telling me to just, make it happen. If that's your dream, chase it, make it work, make it happen. And well, I wish that was easier done than said, because I've been trying to make things happen, trying to make something happen, some sort of life to unfold, some sort of anything to be proud of, you know, anything to be just feel some vein of success, or not even necessarily success, but just not failure, not absolute failure. And you don't have to be completely successful to not be a failure. It's all very it's really just based on your standards, what your standards for failure are, and that could be different for everybody else. I don't really know what mine are, because I feel like I just am unsuccessful in a lot of avenues and everything. So I don't know if I really know what success tastes like, feels like, looks like. And maybe that's just a case of my self-conscious brain constantly, holding me down and telling me whatever I do will never be good enough. That could be very likely, It could just be all in my head, me and my worst enemy of my brain. I wouldn't be surprised, really, if that is all my problem really is that I am just just a victim of my own mind. I mean, I already know that to a degree, you know, but maybe I genuinely just have never really succeeded at things, or at least at things that matter to me, you know, like done well on tests in school. I got good grades when I did go for the 2 years of school that I actually went to in the 12 years that I was supposed to. I got good grades. I got on honor roll once or twice or something. And none of that meant anything to anybody. At least that's how it felt. It really did not matter at all. It really, I don't know. I feel like my parents, or at least one of them, told me they were proud of me. Don't know which one, because I don't remember. Probably my dad. Let's see. Because I feel like I was living with my mom when I got on honor roll. But my mom was pretty absent a lot of the time. And in that same time, I didn't really talk to my dad much. So I'm not really sure who would know or who would have. Anyways, obviously, if it was important, I probably would have remembered, you know? I probably would have remembered somebody telling me that they were proud of me for how smart I am, or whatever. But as far as my memory knows, that didn't happen, because that shit didn't matter, because I made it very clear from a young age that school was not my place, and school was not my, uh, not really a part of my pathway, part of my future, you know? And I'm not even talking about college in specific. I think that was kind of a given based on my lack of going to regular public school. That no way in hell I'm going to college. I can't even get through normal school without, multiple years off. Just being sick. How am I gonna get through college where I have to pay for it and I have to, you know? Like it's one thing to feel like I let my parents down because I didn't go to public school, and I think I graduated, sort of. I didn't. I do technically have a diploma, but it doesn't feel like I ever really graduated because I went to my high school graduation to support all of my friends and everybody else. Meanwhile, I wasn't allowed to walk the stage to get my diploma because I had to finish up like another class in summer school or something. And so I got my diploma late. I didn't ever get to take graduation pictures. I didn't ever get to wear a cap and gown. I never really feel like I graduated. And honestly, for good reason. I probably should have just been a dropout because of how little school I even went to and how little it mattered to me that there was really no point. But I already felt like a big enough failure for not going that I didn't want to feel like an even bigger one for dropping out, because as much as my parents are supportive, I know that they have feelings of their own, and especially when it comes to me, I I believe that both my parents had high hopes or high ambitions for me because I was smart for a while, or because I don't know. I don't know, maybe it's just natural for parents to have faith in their kids to turn out okay or something. I am not too sure because I never really gave my parents good reasons to believe in me. But yet, I have been reminded many, many times by my dad that I could have been a lawyer or gone to law school or joined a debate club or something. And it's I don't think he ever mentions those things to make me feel bad, because usually it's in terms of like, you still could, and I very well still could. I probably could apply to a college or whatever kind of schooling you need to get a law degree, but I ain't gonna be nobody's lawyer. I might be smart, but I don't have the care to act on it. Like, and that's kind of sad too, that I just don't care enough about anything in particular to want to dedicate myself to it, to learn about it, or to really anything. I just, it's not in me. It's not who I am. And that's fine, I guess. I mean, feels better to not do anything than to spend money on something I don't want, for a career I don't know if I will like, about something that I'm not passionate about. Like, it just never seemed like a good idea. It seemed like it would just cause more problems for everybody around me and me than it would be like good to have a degree. And it really doesn't help that all my life I've been reinforced by people who have degrees and then proceed to talk about how worthless it was to get a degree and how they just spent a bunch of money and wasted years of their life for nothing. And now obviously that's not the case for everybody. It's not always how it goes. And you know, there's no guarantee that that's how it would have been for me, but at least right now, we're never gonna find out because I'm not planning on going to college or anything anytime soon. I'm done with school. I'm glad about it. I guess I've been thinking about it because school started back up recently here where I live. So maybe that's why I'm thinking about it again. But I don't know. I think it kind of stems from this fear of the future, sad in the past, miserable in the present. It's just, where's the good times? When did they start? When did they stay? You know? When does things get better? When can I live the life that I dreamed of? You know, I suppose I just have to keep putting the work in, right? You want something, you have to earn it. Things don't just get handed to you, or at least for me. I know a handful of people who have quite a lot of things just handed to them, but that's neither here nor there because jealousy is a disease and yada yada yada. I don't like comparing myself to other people. You never should. It just makes you feel worse. But truthfully, genuinely, how much work do I put in before I reap the reward? You know, slaved away at my job for paycheck to paycheck, and that led me nowhere but more misery. So, am I putting the work into the wrong places? Am I putting in the wrong work? Am I not working hard enough? What's the problem? Who can even give me that kind of an answer? I don't think anybody, really. Nobody that I can just call on the phone, at least, you know, pray about it, but I don't tend to find the answers I'm looking for in my prayers, and it's not due to a lack of belief, it's just unfortunate, unlucky, I don't know. I just can never really find the clarity I'm looking for anywhere. Maybe I need therapy for that, but I don't know how much difference that can make towards things. I guess I guess I just don't really know the point of therapy. Like I get the whole you talk about your problems and then what? Like are you gonna I don't know. I don't know. I imagine it's to help you solve your problems in some capacity or find the root of the problems, find the root of your anxiety or your depression or whatever it is that's bothering you. But I don't know if I really need help finding the root of my problems. I kind of know where most of my problems stem from and why I am the way I am, the environment that I was raised in and the way that I was raised. And granted, I do find myself questioning things a lot, questioning myself a lot, but overall, I feel like I know where it comes from. I feel like I have a pretty decent understanding of myself to some capacity, at least some days. But maybe therapy is for something completely different, and maybe I just do need to go to therapy. But right now, I don't have any money, or I don't have any source of income coming in. I just have my savings, and I don't really want to go broke trying to find a good therapist or whatever that whole process looks like. Paying for it and everything is just not really in the cards right now. So I will just kind of keep fearing the future, avoiding the present, or more avoiding the past, trying to enjoy the present, and we'll hope it works out fine. I mean, I'm still alive, right? Made it this far, so obviously I'm not doing everything wrong. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm doing anything right, but it's better than the alternative, you know? Could be dead, could be gone, could be could be slaving away at some random place that doesn't care about me, doesn't appreciate me for the work I do or anything. And granted, that's probably like most jobs. At least the people that I talk to, that's seems to be how it feels, but who knows? Who knows? The future is uncertain. Nobody knows what's to come. Nobody knows what might happen next. So I can't be too hard on myself about it because there's no telling. There's no there's no guarantee that it's going to be as awful as I think it's going to be, or that my brain tends to tell me it's going to be. You know, things just have always had a nice way of working out in my life, and it doesn't tend to happen as fast as I want it to. I feel like I have to hit my lowest points before I reach a new high or a new whatever. I guess, yeah, talking lowest point, then yeah, reach my lowest point to get to a new high. Maybe I'm just not there yet. Maybe this isn't my lowest point as much as it feels like it. Maybe there's more to come. I really hope not. I would hope that it's gonna get better from here, but again, there's no guarantee. Nobody knows. Could get a lot better, could get a lot worse, could stay the exact same. Who knows? Only time will tell. But I'm gonna try not to be so hard on myself about the future, and I'm gonna try to just reassure myself in the same confidence and faith that I've always had that things will work out. Things will be fine. One day, someday. I don't know when. I don't know if it'll be soon. I can only hope. I can really only hope. Because I don't know how much more I can take. Going lower and lower and lower. I don't know. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see, right? So, thanks for watching, listening, whatever. Hopefully, wasn't too depressing today, or whatever. I don't know. I'm not even that sad. Like, feel maybe melancholy is a good word for it because I like that word a lot. Ever since somebody in my comments told me that, my god, I'm losing my train of thought. Anyways, somebody in the comments once told me that I sounded very melancholy or something along those lines, and I loved that word ever since. So maybe that's how I feel today. Maybe I'm just a little melancholy, not quite sad, not quite happy, somewhere in between. That's not cool. Somewhere stuck in between. Who knows? But anyway, have a good rest of your day, weekend, night, whatever. Day, night, week. Something that makes sense. I don't know.